Welcome. Well, first of all, how wonderful it is that I'm broadcasting live to so many people here with our 20 ways to make 2020 your best year ever. I am broadcasting from Northumberland, but we have people watching all over the world. And I think it'd be quite a nice thing to do. The people who are on Zoom, first of all, if you just want to say where you're from, that would be fantastic. We've got people here in Guildford, Bridgeford, in Shropshire, London baby, Canada, Australia, Leeds, Glasgow, Durham, London, Geneva, Wiltshire, Milton Keynes, Dublin, the Philippines. How lovely. New Delhi, Texas, Hailing Island, Leicestershire, Worcestershire, London, Norwich, Norfolk. Oh my goodness, there are so many. And this is really, really exciting. We estimate that we've got close to 1,000 people. We've got over 300 on Zoom. We've got about 150 or so, I think, something like that, coming on Facebook. And we've also got people doing live watch parties. And the way the live watch parties works is that we've got people who are having pizza nights after work. So their staff are all sitting around having pizza. So welcome to those people. We've got some people who are having a wine and cheese. That's a rather nice one. About 50 people there with a financial services company. Had to be, didn't it? Financial services company who were doing their bit. And then also we've got a whole bunch of people who are tuning in from all of us. Let me just stop that share there, and hopefully now you should be able to see me gloriously rather than having to have a look at the PowerPoint. Now, let me explain how this is going to work tonight. I've got 20 ideas to share with you. That's a lot of stuff to get through in quite a short period of time. I'm controlling everything myself. So I've got a screen here, I've got a screen over there, and I've got another screen down there. And we are recording it. Hopefully, if it's good enough quality, we will do an encore presentation so you can see it again. Or people who might have missed it, they can see it. But if it isn't good enough, then I won't show it. So this is going to be, imagine this is just live, just us now, just having a chat. A very, very overexcited Michael in his office sharing lots of different ideas. We've got a lot of people. Oh my goodness, I've just had a look over here on Zoom. We are close to 300 now, and it's 300 maximum. So that's really exciting. And we might as well just get started and share with you 20 ways to make 2020 your best year ever. So let's do it this way. Let's start off by having a little look back. So 2019, and here's a couple of questions that I might want you to consider. So what went well in 2019? Have a little look back over the year. What was good? What went well? What did you achieve? Let's have a nice little feel good about that for a moment. That's a nice thing to do, to reflect for a little while. But then also it might be an idea just to have a little think about what didn't go so well. So what were the challenges? What didn't work out the way that you hoped? That type of thing's all good to think about, but we don't want to dwell on there too long, because this is the big question. What are you going to do about it? Now, you are here, and this is number one on my 20 things to make 2020 your best year ever. Number one is to show up, to actually be there, to get on board, to turn up for things. Now, you've done that already. And we'll let you into a secret. When we do live events, we ask people if they want to join our 90 Days of Brilliance. And we ask the question, do you want to join our 90 Days of Brilliance? And loads of people are like, yeah, we want to join your 90 Days of Brilliance. It's free. All you've got to do is go online, fill in a few details, and we're going to give you 90 days worth of information, 90 days worth of videos and audios and loads of great stuff. Who would like to do that? And all the hands go up. And in my head, I'm thinking about 60% of you have just told a little bit of a lie there, because we normally get about 40% of people who actually go and register. See, in the moment, it's easy. But actually showing up and doing it, that is more of a challenge. So the first challenge for you in 2020 is to show up. It's to be there, to be present. And when you are somewhere, to truly be in that moment, to truly be with the people who are around you, to truly be in that moment. I did have one of these 20 things about avoiding distractions with mobile phones and stuff like that, but everybody talks about that. That's easy. If you really want to be there, if you really want to show up, then the most important thing is that you're going to say, yes, from now, this is it. The moment that I walk through that door, I am in the zone, I am in the place. And I also want you to get out of your comfort zone and show up at a couple of things as well. So go to the event that you were in two minds about. You know, when people put those little posts on Facebook, or they send out an email, or they put something on LinkedIn. I was wondering if I should do that. Do you know why they did that? They've already made their mind up. They just haven't got the guts to do it. Don't ask those questions. As soon as it comes into your head, say, yes, I'm going to do it. Should I start a podcast? Yes, of course you should. Should I apply for that new job? Yes, of course you should. Should I go for that management position? Yes, of course you should. Should I ask that person to marry me? Yes, of course you should. And if you want to be a traditionalist, you've got to have February the 29th this year. And traditionally, women can ask men. So go on, ask somebody to marry them. Ask them to spend the rest of your life with you. Show up, get out of your comfort zone. It's number one on my 20 things to make 2020 your best year ever. Let's have a look at number 2. Now, I've invented a new word here, and the word is to procrastinate. So, a little story. When I was first starting in this business, I wanted to have some mentors. And one day I went to see a guy called David Bell. David Bell is the amazing guy. He was director of people for Pearson. And I went to see David, and I was having a lovely chat with him about different things that I wanted to do and different goals that I had. And I realized at the end of the meeting, he had nothing to do, and I had a list of things to do. I thought, well, that's really interesting. And it wasn't because he didn't volunteer to do stuff. It was as soon as he thought of something, he did the introduction straight away, or he asked for some information, or he ordered something straight away, or he made a note of it. He was doing things immediately. He wasn't waiting. And as a born procrastinator, as somebody who loves to put things off, I thought, oh, that's very interesting, because I'm normally very good at waiting until last minute or doing something the day before that somebody asked me, or if when you're writing, hitting deadlines at midnight. So here's a new thought for you: to procrastinate. That means to do things straight away, long before you need to do them. So if your deadline is to do something by the 31st of January, it's done by the 15th. If you have to do something by the end of the day, you do it by lunchtime. If you have to do something by the next hour, you do it in the next minute. Procrastinate. It's a new word. I want you to get excited about procrastination in 2020. Number 3. Now, I've just had some coaching calls this afternoon, and one of the people who I was coaching, she got really annoyed about this. It was quite good. We had a bit of a battle backwards and forwards. And I said that you should lower your expectations of people. And if anything, really, just lower your expectations. Our expectations are at an all-time high. We have such high demands from people. We have such high demands from technology, from situations, from the infrastructure, from traffic, from travel, from hotels, from everything. Our expectations are at an all-time high. And because they're so high, we get disappointed. Now, if you really, really, really want to have a brilliant 2020, then I've been doing this now for the last 6 months or so. I've been lowering my expectations on everything. Go out for a meal, I don't expect the best meal ever. Go to a great restaurant, it doesn't matter. I'm going to lower my expectations. I'll lower my expectations of service. I've lowered my expectations on travel. I've lowered my expectations on BT, which is another story for another day, but I've had some interesting times with BT recently. But here's the thing: if you're going to lower your expectations of others, then we need to flip it here. Lower your expectations of others, but raise them for yourself. In other words, you set a higher standard, and by you setting a higher standard and lowering expectations of others and other situations, suddenly, wow, it feels great. Things feel really comfortable. You feel like you're in your groove a little bit more. You're happier. You smile a little bit more. And I want you to test that one, because it's a challenging one, especially if you employ people. If you're a manager, if you've got staff, and suddenly I'm saying to lower your expectations of others and at the same time to raise your expectations of yourself, it's a big ask, but it's a wonderful one. Number 4, ask for what you want. Don't faff about. There is too much faff going on. A lot of people faffing around. And what they do is they kind of give hints for what they want. They never actually ask for it. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, you know what, I must have hinted to my boss 4 or 5 times now that if I don't get a pay rise, I'm going to leave. I said, have you talked to them about it? I mean, do I need to? Yes, you do. You've got to be that clear. You've got to say exactly what you want. Don't hint. It's the same in relationships. Now, I don't want to be the person who says men are like this and women are like that, because it's never as simple as that. But I have a situation with my wife sometimes, and she's watching this in the other room on Facebook Live. And right now, I know what she's going to be thinking. She's going to be going, "Where's he going with this one?" But Christine, trust me, this is important. This is good. Christine sometimes her demeanor will change, her mood will change, and I'll say, "Sweetie, is everything all right?" Yeah, fine. I say, "No, there's something, isn't there?" Well, what do you think? I'm a bloke. I've got no idea. I have not got a single clue at this point. All I want is for her to say, "I need you to do this," or "You did that, and here's what you need to do about it." When I get that information, it's simple. I can do something about it. But getting all the clues in the world won't mean anything. I can turn up with flowers. I can organize a special surprise to do something. I can even put my shoes away. And it still isn't the right thing because clues aren't enough. So ask for what you want. Be very, very clear, very, very specific. If there's something that you're not eating, tell people exactly what it is that you're not eating and why you're not eating that. You know, if there's a challenge that you have with somebody's behavior, tell them exactly what you want from them. Be specific. They'll thank you for it, and also you will get what you want. Number 5, make frugal fun. So we did this a few years ago, and we've done it a few times since. And basically, the message is this: if you can, start and save money by being frugal. Now, I don't mean by being tight, different. Being tight means that you're the last person to the bar. You're disappearing when it's your turn. You don't pay your way up that tight. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being frugal. And a few things that we've done in the past, which have been a lot of fun, is first of all, eating everything that you've got in the house before you buy other stuff. Like going through your freezer and seeing if you can clear out your freezer by eating as much as possible that's in there. Not all in one go, do it over a bit of time. Towards the end of a couple of weeks, if you've got a freezer like ours, you get some unusual combinations of food. There's no doubt at all about that. You're going to get some weird stuff that you're going to eat. But by making frugal fun, by deciding you're not going to spend anything, that's the real key. Not spending anything. It's really interesting what you can do. A friend of mine used to go out with a bunch of cash. He loved having a big wad of cash. And when Chris was out and about, he loved getting the cash out. So, well, I'll have that, I'll buy that, I'll try a bit of this, I'll have a bit of that. Yeah, that's great. And when we talked to him about making frugal fun, he said, yeah, I'm going to see if I can save some money. And so his idea was this: he took a pound coin, £1 coin, and that's all he would take with him out of the house every day. Now, it's amazing what you can't buy when you only have £1, and some of the decisions that he had to make. No more coffees. The only reason he took the £1 was that he would go to the gym and he needed £1 for the locker. That was the only reason why he had it. So as soon as you start to make frugal fun and gamify it, it's incredible how much money you can save. I hope that my daughter, or our daughter Sarah, is watching this, because she too could make frugal fun. Maybe your kids could as well. Number 6, ask the second question. Now, this is one of those coaching tools that I often do, where I'll ask somebody a question, then they'll give an answer. Then I ask another question about the response or about the question. When we wrote The Edge, we interviewed loads and loads of people, and we were asking them questions about, their lives, what they did, their habits, their behaviors, all that type of thing. Almost all of these people asked us questions back and then asked a question behind the question. So, for example, I would say, so what time do you get out of bed in the morning? What time do you wake up? Thinking I was going to get that response of, oh, I'm always up early. I'm one of these people, I'm an early riser, I'm highly successful, I'm up at 5. Actually, we found out that loads and loads of people weren't up at 5 o'clock. Some of them didn't even get up till 7 or 8, and some of them weren't up until the crack of 10. It doesn't matter. It's what you do with your time when you're up. That's the really, really important thing. But so many of them would say, why do you ask that? And so I just want to find out whether people are, are naturally early risers, people who are highly successful. And what are you finding out? And what's the case? And why do you think that is? They're throwing the questions back. They're asking the second question every single time. So when you ask somebody a question, think, what's the second question? What's the question after the question? And see if you can get more information from individuals by doing that. Number 7 is to learn how to relax properly. This has been a personal battle of mine for a long time. So let me explain what happens here with me. So I'm one of these individuals who, when he wants to relax, like a proper relaxation, not having a nap or anything like that, but like go into a meditative state, that type of thing. I used to sit and I used to try really hard to relax, you know, because I knew how important it was. Got to learn to meditate, got to slow everything down, got to get to that place where things are going to be totally relaxed and totally calm. Here's the challenge. My brain is like boom, 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 boom. It's all over the place, to the point where, you know, if I was listening to a Headspace on the Headspace app, I'd be thinking about, I wonder how many of the people are listening on the Headspace app right now. I wonder how many people have downloaded this. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if I could share this with somebody. I wonder how this all started. Let's find out a little bit more about the guy who started it. Oh, that's very, I would do all that types of, whilst I'm meant to be meditating. And then somebody said, you know what you need to do, Michael? Just think of a candle. Just think of the flame of the candle. That's all you've got to do. So I'd sit there, take my deep breaths, relax, close my eyes, see the candle. And I'd think, what type of candle is that? Looks like one of those little IKEA candles. It's one of those little ones, isn't it? It's one of those, they get them in bags of 50. I wonder how many bags of 50 IKEA are selling of those candles every day. I wonder where they make them. Probably China. God, there'll be millions of them going out. Wow. So that wasn't working. And then a couple of years ago, I met a Lama. Now, this is, you've got the Dalai Lama, top guy, then you've got the Lamas underneath there. I think there's about 30-something of them. And Tulsi Lobsang is the guy, and he was incredible. And we were very fortunate that we got to do a little private audience with him the next day after this one-day event. And I asked him the question about meditation. And he went, yes, of course. So you're looking for enlightenment. I went, yeah, of course. I mean, I want to learn how to float. I want to do yoga, flying, and all that type of stuff. But we'll start with enlightenment. So what you need to do is this. First of all, sit. And I was like, yeah, okay, great. And I was expecting some great explanation about sitting in a certain way or whatever. No, just sit. Second thing is breathe. And by breathe, it's breathe properly. So the easiest way to remember it is 4, 5, 6. In for 4, hold for 5, out for 6. Some people do 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter as long as the out breath is longer than the in breath. And then this was the magic moment. Close your eyes and don't try. I was so busy trying to relax, so busy trying to get into that state of true relaxation, to a true meditative state, that it wasn't going to happen. It was like, so you just allow stuff to happen. So I would allow all these thoughts to go on. Didn't matter about how long the time was. It was fine. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just allowed it to happen. First day, nothing happened. Second day, felt nice and relaxed, but nothing really happened. Third day, nothing happened. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth day, nothing happened. I just sat there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, just closing my eyes. And then suddenly I had a moment. I don't know how long it lasted. It might have been a minute. It might have been 5 minutes. I really don't know. But truly, I had no thought. Enlightenment. Wow. I was there for that short period of time. The most extraordinary, rejuvenating feeling that I've ever had. And the first thing I did was I wanted to tell somebody about it. So I told Christine about it. Oh, I'm enlightened. Sat down to do it again the next day. Couldn't do it. You know why? I was thinking about enlightenment. Yeah, you get the idea. So it took a while before I would get back there. Maybe I've had it once or twice in the last year. But my relaxation is so much better because I've taken away the pressure of learning how to relax. And now I'm doing it because I want to, and doing it because it's just the right thing to do in terms of how to breathe and how to feel and how to be in that right state of mind without the pressure of having to get into a deep meditative state. Now then, let's just check that everybody's still here. Are we still online? Let's have a little look. We've got, a lot of people here. I'm just going to do this little thing here where we lower all the hands. We've got a few people who are on the telephone, 2 people calling in here. So far, let's just have a quick on the Q&A. If anybody could just tell me, is this okay? Is the pace all right? Is the speed all right? We're up to number 7. We're about a third of the way in. Maybe you could let me know here on the Facebook Live as well. How's everything? Are we all good? Yeah. Any questions that anybody might have at the moment? Anything that people might want to ask? Yeah, we're all good. Really, really helpful. I'm taking lots of notes. Oh my goodness, I should have said that. please take notes, write things down. You're much better off having a short pencil than a long memory. Please, please, please take lots and lots of notes today. Write things down. Great, this is all good. Pace is fine. Taking lots of notes too. Thank you very, very much. Now then, number 8, choose your reaction. Now, I'm going to stop sharing again because I want to tell you a little story that happened to me and Christine last year. And this was the true test of choosing your reaction. So a few years ago, I coached a wonderful, wonderful guy called Simon Woodruff. You might have heard of him. He's the guy who was the founder of Your Sushi. He's the founder of Your Hotel. Amazing, amazing guy. I love Simon. And he told me a story how he used to react to things immediately. He was like very, very much into reaction, and you'll see what happened. He would react to it. You have to pick up the phone. You have to start something. You have to do something straight away. And I taught him how to slow down and how to consider his reactions. Now, sometimes being the teacher doesn't mean you necessarily do it yourself. And I was aware that I could be better with my own reactions. And then one day Simon got in touch and he said, the strangest thing happened to me last week. He said, I was on the Thames and I was on a boat, and somebody said, look at that over there. And I leant over to look on the other side of the boat, and my mobile phone was in my top pocket and it fell out. And he said, before it hit the water, I made up my mind not to be upset about it. Isn't that great? Before it hit the water, I made my mind up not to be upset about it. Now that's pretty cool. I think that's amazing that somebody should be able to do that. So I thought I need to test myself with this. So over the years, I've taught myself to slow down with reactions and to consider things. And then I was given the ultimate test. And the ultimate test was last year. We had a very, very wonderful trip. We went over to Granada to visit the Alhambra. That was absolutely amazing. And at the end of our trip, we've been away for about a week and a half. We stayed in a hotel in Malaga. And the hotel is called the Miramar. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. We've seen it lots of times. We've walked past it, but we've never actually stayed there. So this was in August when we were booking the trip. And we were online, we're having a little look, as you do these days, trying to find out where's the best deal. Should we go through booking.com? Should we go direct? Should we book it through this one or that one? And we looked at all sorts of different ideas and different solutions. And eventually we thought, you know what? This is looking too expensive. We're probably not going to stay there. I mean, it was a lot of money to stay at this place just for 4 nights. And then I thought, one last attempt. I'd give them a call. So I got my mobile phone and I looked up the hotel and put in bookings, and one of those little buttons appeared. You know, when the button appears on your phone, it said call now. So I call and I get through, and this lovely lady in reservations, she answered the phone, and I had a little chat with her, and I said, I want to book these 4 nights. I want to know the best price. But she was, slow down. Tell me why you're coming. Tell me a bit more about you. Tell me what you're looking for. Anyway, I went through the whole thing. And then she said, well, look, your timing is perfect. We've got some special offers that we might be able to do for you. We can do this, we can do that, blah, blah, blah. They went through the whole lot. And the price, here's the best bit, was just under half of what we were going to get online. Just under half. And I was like, wow. So does that include breakfast? Well, you've got to ask, don't you? So does that include breakfast? Well, no, it doesn't. I said, well, would you mind throwing breakfast in? She said, yeah, go on, we'll do that as well. So I've booked a sea view room with a balcony just because I picked up the phone and talked to somebody, and we're able to get the price for half of what we would have had going online. Result, Fast forward 2.5 months. We arrive at this hotel. We've been traveling all day, 2 train journeys. We love getting the train, got the taxi. We arrive at this beautiful hotel. We drive through the gardens, and there's somebody there to meet us at the bottom of the steps. This is looking good. We go in, we go to reception. Hi, we'd like to check in, please. First of all, would you like a glass of champagne? Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely. So we get our glass of champagne, and they said, could we have the name for the reservation? I said, yes, it's Michael Heppell. Heppell is spelled Heppell. Sometimes people spell it apple, they spell all sorts of things. Put in the details, and then he went, okay, do you by any chance have a reservation number? Now, Christine is brilliant because she prints everything out. Doesn't rely on stuff to be online. She's got a copy printed out of our reservation because I insisted that they email it to us. It was a prepay, so I want a copy. It's all done. There they are, 4 nights in the hotel, all done. He gets it, he has a little look, he tapped in a number, he said, just 1 second, I just have to talk to my colleague. So he goes over to his colleague. Meanwhile, I'm online checking that they have got a room that night, because no matter what, I've prepaid, they've messed up, it doesn't matter. I'm going to have my 4 nights with a sea view, with a balcony, for that price. I've got it in writing. And then he came back and said, Mr. and Mrs. Heppell, this is a reservation for the Hotel Miramar in Italy. We are in Malaga in Spain. I did a Simon Woodruff. At that point there, I had to choose my reaction. As calm as you like. Well, do you have a room for tonight? And yes, we got our room. We got it sorted out. But I remember an old version of me who would have gone mad. He would have wanted to blame. He would have wanted to point the finger. Christine was brilliant. She didn't blame me either. Thank you. But we decided at that point there we were going to enjoy this moment. I said, one day I'm going to tell the story and hopefully we'll entertain some people with it as well. So that's choose your reaction. Number 9, repair rather than replace. This kind of goes back to the frugality thing. I've had a lot of fun recently repairing things. You can repair so much. You can go online. You can learn how to do stuff. You know, if you've repaired something, you know, let me know. Let me know in the Q&A there, or let me know in your comments here if there's something that you've repaired. I'm always interested to know, what have you managed to repair? I've managed to repair stuff in my garage. I've managed to fix our lights for our Christmas trees this year. It turned out that it was just a very, very small break, and I nearly went out and bought a new set of lights for everything. I managed to fix them. I felt really, really good about it. You know, repairing clothes, repairing shoes, repairing furniture. What can you repair rather than replace? It's a nice, simple one. I don't have to talk about that too much. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, I repaired a dehydrator. I don't even know what a dehydrator is, but well done. I wonder if you could have, when else? Oh, I repaired a KitchenAid. I repaired my fridge. A lot of electrical things here. You're very brave. I repaired, oh, it dries your food. Thank you very much for that, Karen. That's great. I repaired a table. I always repair clothes. I recycle clothes. Fantastic. This is great. So lots of nice things there. Oh, here we go. Next time you want to travel, book with us via Not Just Travel. We can sort it out to make sure this doesn't happen again. Thank you very much indeed for that. That's hand-picked holidays. All good. And number 10, count your blessings. Now, this is one of those things. People talk about this phrase, don't they? Count your blessings. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. What I'm going to suggest you do, and this is a nice thing you could actually do tonight, is count your blessings literally. Literally count your blessings. Write them down. I bet you could get 50 to 100 blessings, the little things that you have in your life. My goodness, when you have a look at the world right now, and you have a look at where we are, there's 4 or 5 people who've seen on the list there before who came up who are in Australia. Imagine what it must be like there right now. People who are in countries that have got so many challenges. We are so fortunate. And yet we do complain about things like our broadband going a bit dodgy, or a phone bill being a bit higher than we thought it was going to be, or a sell-by date passing on some food that we've missed. Count your blessings. Literally count them. Write them all down. I'm going to challenge you to see if you can find 50 blessings. So we're halfway. So when you get to halfway, normally if you're watching the TV or you're you know, watching something on your iPad or whatever, at this point here, we have a word from our sponsor. So we have a sponsor for this webinar, and the sponsor is time. Yes, we have a sponsor, and the sponsor is time. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, so far, we have had exactly 34 minutes on this webinar, exactly 34 minutes on this broadcast. I said it would take about 1 hour. And 1 hour is such a valuable length of time. It's a huge amount of time. Imagine if every day we could do something with an hour. What would you do with an extra hour every day? I've got a gift for you. You're suddenly going to get a 25-hour day. 25 hours a day just for you. That extra hour, what would you do with it? So let's pop some things in the comments. Come on, I'm going to give you an extra hour every day. Let's have some comments. What type of thing would you do with an extra hour every day? Sleep more. Relax. Yes, of course. There's a couple of people sleep straight away. What else would we do with an extra hour every day? Play with the kids. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? Read more. Meditate, slow down, spend more time with my family. Writing my first book. Heather, come on, this is it. We can get you to write that book. Read your books. Thank you very much. Spend some more time with my husband. Spend some more time with my kids. Go and visit my son. Read and learn. Wow, loads and loads of fantastic things. And what have we got coming here? We're going to go on yoga, read, go to the gym. Exercise, speak to somebody who's on their own. Oh, fantastic. Wow. Yoga, making art, getting outdoors, listen to music. Look, these things, how important are they? Is there any of those things that I've said there that are trivia? No, these are the important things. So how are we going to get this extra hour? Well, here's how our sponsor is going to help us right now. So How to Save an Hour Every Day is my most translated book. It's available in more languages than any other. It is the thing that people want to know how to do, how to get that vital hour. I want to do more webinars. I want to do more broadcasts like this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a live webinar on how to save an hour every day. And that's going to be guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed. I guarantee if you do this webinar, you will save an hour every day and you'll be able to do all of those things that you've been mentioning. Time with the kids, more time with your husband, writing your book, listen to music, yoga, exercise, meditation, all of those things. I will give you the hour to do that. Plus, after the webinar, free encore, so you can go back to it and watch it and listen to it as many times as you like. Now, you might have guessed, because this is sponsored, this is going to be a paid webinar, not a free one like this. The next one is going to be paid. So it's £95 per seat. However, we are doing an early bird discount. So the investment is £45. Remember, it's guaranteed. You pay your £45. If you don't save an hour every day, and what price do you put on your hour every day, then you will get a 100% total refund. And this is how you do it. You have to use a code called SAVE50. SAVE50 is only going to be available for the people who are on this webinar. There might be some other codes, but it will not be SAVE50. You're not going to be able to save £50. You go to michaelheppell.com. So make a note of that now. Michael Heppell, that's my name, .com is the domain /time. Okay, michaelheppell.com/time. And the early bird discount of £45, you use SAVE50. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. At the end of this, we will put into the notes exactly what you need to do, where you need to go to get that, and we'll leave it on for about half an hour on the Facebook group, because we wanted to be only for the people who are watching right now, and then all the people who've registered on Zoom, we will let you know as well. So I am super excited about this, because it'll be the first time that we're going to teach it as a webinar. We've done it as events in organizations. We've done it as an open program a couple of times. It's the first time that we're going to do it as a webinar, so people all over the world, wherever you might be, you can sit at home and you can learn how to save an hour every day. It's guaranteed. Don't know if I've mentioned that, but it is absolutely guaranteed that you will save an hour every day if you put those tools and techniques into practice. So that's a word from our sponsor. Number 11, sleep. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? A lot of people mention that they want to sleep more. My goodness, the importance of sleep. I've been doing a lot of research recently about sleep. One of the things I found, especially when I'm doing coaching with people, is that they don't get enough sleep for various reasons. But if you want to do one thing, just one thing that will vastly improve your health, then you've got to get more sleep in 2020. Minimum 8 hours a night. It's going to reduce depression, heart disease, cancer, sickness. It's going to improve your joints. It's going to improve your mobility. It's going to improve your mood. It's going to improve your cognitive behavior. It's going to improve your skin. It's going to improve absolutely everything that you can possibly imagine by getting more sleep. Minimum of 8 hours. Can you do it? That is a sleep challenge. A lot of people talk about, they've got their walking challenges. A friend of mine today just said he's going to walk 5 million steps this year. I was like, wow, that's a lot. You see, it's going to make me do so much. I also want to challenge you. If you're going to do the walking, that's great, but also do the sleeping. Number 12. So this is a very obvious one, but I thought it'd be worthwhile reminding you. Be kinder. Be kinder to each other. Be kinder to the community that you're part of. Contribute more. Do the extra thing that you thought you couldn't do for somebody else. That it was wonderful just talking about somebody on the Facebook page just said, spend some time with a stranger, spend some time with somebody who needs you. It's a challenge. I know it is. It's a scrap sometimes to go out and do that. But the feeling for you from a selfish point of view of getting out there and spending time with people and being kinder and caring, it's extraordinary. So be kinder and contribute more to life, contribute more to your community, contribute more to your work, put that a little bit more in and get so much more out. Number 13, keep on learning. So today, if you received my newsletter, so the message was really, really quite simple, that we did some work with an organization recently. They were lovely, fantastic people. They've been doing 90-day massive action projects, and then they talked about their big goals for 2020. And there were some fantastic things. I mean, it's a great time to set some goals towards the end of the year, start of a new year. People are all stood there and they're sharing what they're going to do. You could even see people on the hoof changing their goals and make them a bit bigger and a bit more exciting and a bit more sexy. And it was like, oh, this is looking great. This is fantastic. This is wonderful. And then somebody said, you know what this is like? It's at this moment, it feels wonderful. At this exact moment, we feel fantastic, don't we? Because we're all in this great place and it's all shiny and new. But he said, it's just like when you get a new car, it's all shiny and new. If you haven't had a new car, then you know what it's like when you get a new one of these, you get a new phone. And initially it's like that on the time. It's great, isn't it? Yeah, it's all shiny and new. It's all nice. And then something happens. And suddenly it's not shiny and new. And he said, it's the same with this type of event. It's the same with this type of training. We have to keep it alive. We absolutely have to keep it alive. So what can we do? And we talked in that session about different things. And one of the things that I committed to do was to go back and to start reading books that I'd read many years ago. And as you can see from my library behind me, we've got another 3 sets of shelves like this. It's packed full of personal development and business books and loads of great learnings and people's biographies and autobiographies. And sometimes we always want the new thing rather than be able to go back and reveal what was in the past. Because sometimes some of those old books have got absolutely classic stuff. I picked up the old 1 Minute Manager. Remember that? The 1 Minute Manager, catch people doing something right. First thing that I read in there, I was like, wow. I've read Think and Grow Rich probably around about 30 times, but I haven't read it in the last 3 or 4 years. So I've got Think and Grow Rich to read again, one of the absolute classics of personal development. And then some of the other things we talked about was being accountable, having an accountability partner, somebody who's going to help you to keep learning. If you say you're going to do something, they keep you on track. They're going to make sure that you do it. So visiting so having an accountability partner, and then also to say, what can I learn that's a little bit different? We do tend to learn the same stuff again and again because it's safe, isn't it? It's quite safe to learn the same things. This year, I want to learn how to do more of these, how to do more video presenting, how to do more work that I can do from home. I'm learning how to do more with video coaching and using the tools and the techniques that go with that. And it's uncomfortable. Feels a little bit strange. Normally there's me stood there on a stage and I've got 500 or 600 people in front of me. At the minute there's a little camera just there. That's it. That's all I have. And I've got to imagine the individuals out there. I've got to imagine I'm talking to people and try and pick up that energy. And I'm learning a lot about how to do that and to share these ideas and learning how to do online training and lots of other things. So your help with that will be absolutely fantastic as well, to help me to keep on learning. Right, okay, we've got a slightly controversial one now, and this is to have an edit. Okay, now when I talk about having an edit, I'm not talking about an edit with your written work or anything like that. I'm talking about having an edit with the following: friends, family, and associates. Who can you let go? Who doesn't contribute to your life? Who doesn't enhance your life? Who is actually bringing you down rather than lifting you up? Maybe it's time to have an edit. Maybe it's time to spend less time, if you don't want to move them out altogether, with certain people and spend more time with others. To maybe not be as available as you have been in the past for some of the negative people, for some of the people who might be bringing you down. Now, this is a challenge. This is a tough thing to do, but it can be a little bit easier when you think that anybody who comes into our lives, they come in for one of three opportunities. There's a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So a reason, somebody comes in and they've got something to teach you. They've got to share something with you. There's a lesson there. And it's interesting when we get these lessons and we learn from individuals that sometimes they're easy, they're great lessons. Other times they're challenging lessons. A season is perhaps where you know somebody for a few months or a few years. And sometimes we beat ourselves up, don't we? We kind of go, oh, I haven't seen such and such for ages. Christmas is the classic time for that. I get Christmas cards from people and we write in cards, oh, we really must get together. Be honest with yourself. Why have you not got together with them? Maybe you've changed. Maybe they've changed. Maybe it's just not the right thing. Perhaps it's okay just to have them as acquaintances and don't worry about having to spend time with people. So you've done the season, it's okay. But then there's other people who are with you for a lifetime. Cherish those people. Cherish those people. Build those relationships. When your heart is telling you that somebody who you know, you should be with them for a lifetime, then get in touch with them now. Tell them. Tell them that they're a lifetime friend. Tell them they're a lifetime acquaintance. Tell them that they're a lifetime family member. You don't have much choice about that. But if there's somebody who you're thinking, I've not been in touch with, I haven't talked to for a while, now might be a great time to have a little chat with them to get back in touch. Number 15, sort out the mess and systemize the rest. This is one of my real mantras when I start to work with people. Everybody has a mess in their lives. They have something that needs to be sorted out. Sometimes it's a physical mess. So sometimes it's sometimes that you've got to sort out your shelves. You've got to sort out the cupboard under the stairs. Sometimes it's the garden or the garage or whatever it might be. There's a physical mess. Your filing system, your tax return, whatever it might be. Sometimes it's an emotional mess. But we all have a mess in our lives. And here's how you identify it. It takes up quite a bit of bandwidth. You think about it at least once a day. If you could have avoided getting there in the first place, you would have. There's no doubt about it. And then, if it was sorted out, you would have this intense relief. It's going to free up energy. What's the mess? Come on, what is it? What's the mess that needs to be sorted out? And if one of your 20 things to do in 2020 to have your best year ever is to sort out that mess, then do it now. I mean, do it now, do it now, do it now. We used to do a program, a weekend course called Brilliant Life. And one of the things we used to challenge people to do over the Brilliant Life weekend was to commit to sorting out a mess. And then to have the accountability, they would stand up in front of everybody else and they would say, here's what I'm going to do. And we had this lovely couple and they said, we're real hoarders. We've got loads and loads of stuff in the house. We're going to throw out loads of stuff. I said, okay, how much stuff? Well, okay, maybe 20 bin liners. I said, well, if you think you can do 20 bin liners, you can probably do 40. They were like, really? I went, yeah, absolutely. I bet you could do 40. Charity shops, stuff to the tip, things you're never going to need anymore. If you truly are hoarders, then let's do this. Let's do it now. They were like, great, fantastic. I said, when are you going to do it? Next weekend. I said, great, let's book a skip for next Monday morning. The look on their faces. Sorry? So let's book a skip right now. I knew a skip hire company and I called them there and then. And we booked the skip for the week on Monday and they filled over 100 bags of stuff, a whole skip full, dozens of trips up and down to the charity shops and giving stuff to friends. They said the energy that was released by sorting out a mess was incredible. I said, now how are we going to make sure we never get there again? Systemize. Systemize, systemize, systemize. If you can have systems for things, it's not about being anal. Systemize, free up energy. They free up creativity. Some of the most creative people I know have got absolutely amazing systems. That's what makes them so creative. So, sort out a mess, systemize the rest. Number 15. Number 16, laugh every single day. Without fail, you need to laugh every day. Find a reason, find something that makes you laugh. I'm quite good at laughing. I laugh usually at inappropriate times, and I would like to give you a quick demonstration now of when I laugh, probably at the most inappropriate times. So this is number 16, laugh daily. Hope your volume's turned up. Here's me, meant to be serious at work.
Oh. I took too much breath.
Don't you two start giggling, mate. Don't look at him.
It's a chain reaction.
This is dreadful. Don't look at him.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
It's just the little when the Muttley thing starts,
Yeah.
you know, it makes me go.
He's doing it now. You're nearly finished.
I'm nearly done, right.
We'll be
Okay,
here all afternoon,
here we go.
mate.
Stop talking. Please.
I see. Now you've got red eyes.
No,
as well.
don't stop, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to be in any second.
You've got red eyes.
Alright, here we go.
No, it's not.
I nearly did it. You stopped me there.
You didn't.
What?
You can't do that much. You've lost it. You've absolutely frickin' lost it. Right.
No, because we know these people now.
We've got to step on the show. You're a fucking lunatic. Right, I'll tell you what you can do. You can do the duck dance and you can do it short time, then you can just get off the You're not to do that.
Okay.
Get it out your system.
Oh, dear me.
Get it.
Alright, we're still rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the frickin' Brent, that wasn't it? Right, get it out your system. Shake it out.
And the that over there.
No, don't.
The hell of that.
Oh no, it's gonna get bloody sweaty.
No, I'm fine. Right.
Go outside.
No, I'm fine. Right, here we go. I'm nearly there. Right. Let's be face to go, right? Right. Here we go.
Got makeup all over your jeans.
I was doing so well. Right, here we go.
Go and stand outside in the cold air.
No, I'm fine. I've got to do it. I'll be professional.
That's right. Get
Actually, just stop for a minute. We'll have to stop for a
Get
minute.
outside and have some
Sorry.
fresh air.
I'm
What an
sorry.
absolute
I thought
Go and have some fresh air.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think that the most important thing out of probably 20 things is to laugh every day. And you can find those videos of me making a bit of a fool of myself online if you should want to. Okay, so we've got a couple left and we've only got a few minutes. So let's crack on here. Number 17 is don't be a pleaser. Right, this means that you don't have to do things for other people because they want you to do it to make them feel good. The master of this is my wonderful friend Paul Mort. So Paul set up a business. He's great. He was a fitness instructor, and then he knew how to market fitness stuff really, really well. He sends out emails all the time. These fantastic emails with loads and loads of ideas, and he has an emails. But his grammar, Paul won't mind me says, his grammar could be a lot better. Right, and his spelling could be a lot better. And he gets people who actually email him and write to him, and they say, I don't actually like your free email. This is free stuff that he's sending out because your grammar is bad. He's like, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. Right? It's not my job to please you. My job is to please my clients. My job is to please the people who either I pay for advice or are paying me for advice. And that's it. And I love that Paul has that attitude. I just read one of his emails today. And if you are in the fitness industry or you're a bloke who is struggling with some stuff, check out Paul Mort. He is absolutely brilliant for that. Don't be a pleaser. Number 18, do confidence. And people can go, oh, wait a minute, how do you do confidence? Well, this is from a friend of mine, another friend of mine, a brilliant guy called Richard Nugent. I thought I'd bring his picture up there just so you can see Richard Nugent. He's a handsome beast there, yes. And I remember Richard explained this idea, this concept of doing confidence. And when he shared this idea with me, I was like, what? You can't do confidence. You know, something you have to create, something you have to have. And he went, no, Michael, you do it. You have to do confidence. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Because if you do confidence, you will feel confident. And he had a much better way of explaining it than I do. But basically, what I've realized is that you can actually do confidence by changing 3 things. And this is one of the classics of personal development, to change your state by changing 3 things: language, focus, and physiology. Apologies if you've heard this before, but it's worthwhile hearing again because I have to remind myself of it. If you do this on a regular basis, I guarantee you will increase your confidence. 1, create confident language. What sort of words do you use when you're feeling confident? Remember those words, write those words down, understand what's the language that you use that goes with feeling really, really confident. Next one, once you got the language, what do you focus on? My guess is when you're feeling really confident, you are focusing on the future. You are not back referencing. You are not thinking about stuff that's happened in the past. You are thinking about your future and where you're going to. Final thing is physiology. Physiology is what you do with your body. It's what you do with your tone. So if I'm like this, am I feeling confident right now? I can say all the right words. I'm having the time of my life. Oh, this is really, really great. 2020, I'm going to set the world alight. Woohoo! Come on. Do you believe me? No way. But you know, I could stand like this. I would just go, I'm having the worst time ever. This year is an absolute disaster already. Yay! And that way the physiology takes over from the language. So the physiology is so important. Language, focus, physiology. Remember, confidence isn't something that you have. Confidence is something that you do. And I would challenge you to do confidence every day, to practice doing confidence every day. And to remind you to do it, then here's the number 19. It's to create something called habit stacks. So I've read lots of books last year. One of my favorites was this one here. It's called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. And I was very, very fortunate that I hosted an event last year, and James was one of the speakers, and we talked a lot about habit stacking. And habit stacking is where if you want to create a new habit to do something, link it with something else that you already do. So I broke my back about just less than 2 years ago now. I broke my back, and it wasn't much fun. I have to tell you, breaking your back, do not try that at home. It isn't very good. And one of the things that I have to do now is I have to engage my core. And to remember to engage your core is a right pain. I mean, it's just like, so we'd be out walking somewhere, and Christine will go, is your core engaged? And I was like, yes. Of course it is at that moment there, but before then it wasn't. And so there wasn't really a habit for me to engage my core. So with a habit stack, what you do is you link your new habit with something that you already do. And when you do that, it automatically creates the new habit. So my habit that I already have is I think about the time a lot. So every time I would look at my watch, every time I think about the time I'm doing it right now, I would do this little rhyme. So it says, every time I think of the time, I engage my core and say this rhyme. And I would just do that over and over and over. Every time I think of the time, I engage my core and I do this rhyme. And I started to do that, and I suddenly found that I was getting like a proper good core. I mean, not exactly not a proper one of those, washboard things, but it's getting stronger and stronger just by engaging it, by doing that habit stack. Now, I did say this webinar was going to last for 1 hour. We are rapidly coming to the 1 hour right now. So the last one there is to be better, not to ask for things to be easier. And I think this came from Jim Rohn originally, who taught about this idea. Stop wanting things to be easier. Instead, you should be focusing on becoming better. That's the key. And to help us with that, I've got a little quote just to maybe keep in your mind when we finish off here today. If you don't get what you want, it might be because you've got what you need. And, I'm thinking about that a lot at the moment. If you don't get what you want, it might be because you've got what you need. We have so much in us. We have so many skills and talents and beliefs, and we want more. We want more of everything. We are in a world that wants more and more and more. And maybe it's time for us to focus instead on what we already have. And perhaps in 2020, it's a time to reflect and to think, you know what, I've got everything that I need. All that I have is within me now. That's a great affirmation, one that you can use again and again and again. So I hope this has been useful. If you want to leave a final comment, that would be great. Anybody wants to leave a final comment in the Q's and the A's, or any comments that you want to make? I'm amazed that I'm going to look here on the Zoom. We've got, you know, almost everybody stay with us. There's only one or two people who've had to go. Thanks very much for everybody who's been watching on Facebook Live. It's weird, I point down there for Facebook Live. That's where it is. It's actually, I should be doing that. Thank you very much for everybody who's watched on Facebook Live. You're there, you're not down there. I want to do more of these webinars. If you're interested, please let us know in comments. Please get in touch and let us know what type of content would you like to see. I'm interested in perhaps doing a whole series on customer service, maybe do some more on time management, some coaching techniques, some leadership ideas. I want to share my knowledge to as many people as possible in 2020. And I really believe that doing these webinars, if we get them right, if they're fun, and if you enjoy them, that this could be a great way to do it. So thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've had an absolute blast, and we will see you hopefully face to face. When you see me, come and give me a big hug. I'll give that big hug in return, and let's make 2020 our best year ever. Thank you very much. Be brilliant, and bye-bye.